I'm telling you, there's been a few times when things look pretty tough and pretty rough. In 1980, we had a pretty severe downturn in the cattle business, and it lasted for 10 years. And I got pretty concerned. I could just see that the bank could possibly fail. And I didn't know who to talk to, who'd share with. So I finally talked to my dad, and he said, well, son, as you well know, I don't know anything in the world about the bank. But he said, I can tell you, I do know the Lord Jesus Christ. And he said, I'm convinced that if you'll let him be the chairman of the board, I think you'll find out that these problems will all be resolved and work out. And you know what? They did. The history of the Welch State Bank is kind of varied. The bank was consolidated in 1923. It was made up of the Oklahoma State Bank in Welch and then the Bank of Welch. And so there was an old blacksmith who was on the board at the time, and they couldn't decide what to call it. And he said, well, why don't we take a little bit from each bank and just call it the Welch State Bank? And so that's supposedly how it was named. So in 1951, the man that I worked for was Mr. John Burford, and he bought the bank from Mrs. Dobkins. The bank wasn't doing very well, and so in 1951, Mr. Burford approached him and bought the bank. And he hired Mr. Guest to run the bank. And when I went to Welch in 1962, that's who I worked for, was Mr. Guest. And I worked with him for 5 years. And he left and went to Fulton, Missouri. Mr. Burford called me after Mr. Guest left and said, do you think you can run the bank? And I said, well, mechanically, yes, I think I can run the bank. But I just don't know how a 50-year-old farmer is going to look at a 25-year-old and want to listen to what he's got to say. And Mr. Burford said, well, we're willing to take that chance if you are. And I said, well, I don't think I would have anything to lose, but by the same token, I'll do my very best not to embarrass you. And so that's kind of how it started.
I think a lot of people have underestimated my dad. They thought that they could pull the wool over his eyes, that, small town country bumpkin, easy to outperform, that kind of stuff. And they've gotten a big surprise.
Knowing his history like I do, how he literally struggled to even complete high school, and then deciding to take a part-time job at a bank and working his way from one level to the next, gaining the favor of the owner of the bank, and then going to banking school and then becoming an officer. It's just been a really exciting and meaningful journey for him, and to see him take the bank to a point where the next generation can move it forward as they have has just been really enjoyable, really meaningful, and as a family member, you keep talking about the legacy aspect. It just really means a lot to have a part in that.
Charles and Barbara both, they have instilled integrity in everybody at the bank. I mean, you look at them and you see how they live their lives. It's a standard you like to live up to. It kind of has carried out throughout the organization.
Charles is a very driven individual. I think that his very direct way of how he serves his family, serves in his church, serves his community is the same way that he serves in the bank. And so knowing that he holds those things so true to him makes working for him in this organization that much better because he is so strong in those convictions.
You know, he's going to do the right thing. I've seen him have the opportunity to not do the right thing, and he did the right thing. So I'm proud of that.
I think the reason the bank has been successful would be the culture of the bank.
The culture at Welch State Bank is phenomenal. Not only are we very family-oriented, but there's also things that we get to do inside of the bank that is specific to something or an interest that we take. So there's freedom in that. The decision power that we have comes from our owners and from our board and from our leadership being empowered with that. And so the culture is just very strong, and we get to do that and serve the customers each day with that empowerment.
They invest in their employees, their team members. They want us to find our strengths and even our weaknesses, and they train us and give us opportunities to develop those skills, and in those places that we may be lacking to even develop those, and so that we can be successful in everything that we're doing.
We went through a process and developed our leadership team, our team leaders. We really worked hard to make sure our team members gain the trust of one another.
I think we've got a real good nucleus of people that work here. One of the things we always said in the military about our team members was, hey, he's got my six. Meaning that I know he's looking out for me and I'm looking out for him. When a bad situation comes up, we come together instantly you know, you're shoulder to shoulder.
You've got to want to help people, and you've got to be willing to sacrifice somewhat your time, energy, and effort for their benefit. And that's what set Welch State Bank apart, is its employees. I don't think the bank, the name on the door, is just a symbol that gets you there. But if that person goes that extra mile, that really says, hey, they'll take care of me.
It's interesting, just in the last couple of years, Welch State Bank has become the only community bank, the only locally owned and guided bank in all of Craig County.
Being a community bank, that gives us the opportunity to reinvest in our community. So if you are a customer of Welch State Bank, whether that is a deposit account or a loan, or just simply being a customer, the dollars that you are giving to Welch State Bank is reinvested into the community. So we're that community bank partner, partnering with our local organizations, our public schools, our chambers of commerce, our FFA. So those sponsorships and things that come up, we get the opportunity to reinvest in the community. You get to do that too.
We want to help. When you help people, the community benefits. You look at many of your small towns in the area, without some strong leadership in the town, without some good bank backing, these little communities die. We really are about seeing our communities that we're involved in to become better, for those that bank with us to have better lives. When we can do that, there is quite a sense of accomplishment when you can look around and think of all the things that the bank has played a major part in improving the lives of those around us.
We do business with the people that we coach baseball with, go to church with. I think it's very important that we get out and interact with those people, because they are what provide the success for the bank. We believe in the community, and if we're not helping the community, why should they believe in us?
You know, that's what sets us apart. We're not cookie cutter. We build relationships. We're part of the community. You get it when you call. You get a face. You get a name. We're just available to take care of our people.
I think a lot of people may have overlooked us. We're We don't make a big scene, we don't make a big splash, but we make a big impact.
I'm very proud of it. I'm proud of my people. I'm proud of my employees. And to see them do the things they do today is just hard to imagine. It really is.
It is so amazing. And, you know, we didn't plan it. It just happened from a lot of hard work. I'm very proud of him. I know his parents are very proud of him, too.
I'm humbled. Sorry. Humbled to be able to be a part of that success team. And it is a team. So, proud to be a part of that.
You know, if you ask me, would I have ever thought during my tenure here I would see us go from one location with 20 employees to 6 locations and 100 employees? I would like to say that I would have never seen that, but with the leadership, with the drive, with the sense of determination that they have in serving their communities, why wouldn't it? Why wouldn't it grow to do that? And why won't it continue? Well, if we can keep our character, if we can keep our focus, if we can keep our industriousness, if we can continue to go the extra mile, if we keep a strong employee character that has desire to help and help the community, this bank is going to continue to grow. And if we can continue to do that, I really think there's a real bright future for the bank.